Ladies and gentlemen, gather around for the most heartbreaking yet hilarious saga in La Liga history, the story of Darwin Machís, the man who's been relegated so many times, La Liga might as well name a demotion package after him. 4 seasons, 4 relegations, 3 clubs, one very confused left winger wondering if he accidentally broke a mirror or walked under 17 ladders. Forget trophies. Machís is out here collecting relegations like Pokemon cards. Gotta catch 'em all. Into the Segunda Division. 1. Granada, 2022. The beginning of the end. Our tragic hero's journey began at Granada in 2021-2022, a club that once touched European football dreams, and then promptly woke up with a relegation hangover. Machís gave it his all, 29 matches, 4 goals, 3 assists, but unfortunately effort doesn't stop a sinking ship, especially when your manager changes more often than your Tinder matches. By the end of that season, Granada's locker room vibes were less team spirit and more group therapy session. The highlight of the final match wasn't a miracle survival. Oh no. It was Machís staring into the distance like a man realizing he's about to spend next season playing on fields where the ball boys double as ball retrievers and ticket sellers. Granada's season was like a telenovela written by pessimists. Managerial chaos, dramatic losses, and a shocking plot twist, relegation. Machís probably thought, it can't get worse, right? Spoiler alert, it absolutely could. Granada's defense that year was like a house made of paper. One strong gust from Getafe and the whole thing collapsed. 2. Real Valladolid 2023. Deja vu strikes. So Machís said, new year, new me, and transferred to Real Valladolid in 2023. Owned by Brazilian legend Ronaldo. Surely things would be different, right? Wrong. Different club. Same sad ending. Valladolid took one look at La Liga and said, maybe we belong in Segunda after all. Machís started 7 games, no goals. It was like watching a talented chef get stuck flipping burgers at a roadside stand with no customers. Machís must have felt like he walked onto the set of a sequel nobody asked for. Relegation 2, Electric Boogaloo. New badge, new jersey. Same depressing plot twist. At some point you have to wonder if Darwin opened the wrong ancient scroll or disturbed a football mummy, because no matter where he goes, La Liga's trapdoor finds him like a heat-seeking missile. Valladolid's defense was so fragile you could have blown them over with a sneeze. Imagine Ronaldo buying a team just to watch it crumble faster than a cheap cookie. At this point, Machís should have asked for a relegation bonus in his contract. Another demotion? That's an extra 10 grand, right? 3. Cádiz, 2024. Hope, hype, and heartbreak. Never one to give up, Machís went on loan to Cádiz for the 2023-24 season. The dream? Stay up. The reality? Another relegation party, and Machís brought the balloons. He showed flashes of brilliance, 4 goals, including a dramatic equalizer. But Cádiz played offense like it was optional, and defense like it was illegal. By mid-season, Cádiz's idea of attacking football looked like toddlers chasing pigeons in a park, chaotic, brave, but ultimately hopeless. Machís tried everything, cutting inside, whipping crosses, even praying mid-dribble. But when your team scores once every blood moon, even prime Ronaldinho would struggle to save you. Cádiz's attack was so blunt it couldn't cut butter on a hot day. Machís scoring goals for Cádiz was like giving a bandage to a man who fell off a cliff. Great effort, totally useless. At this point, Machís wasn't playing football, he was speed-running relegations like it was a Twitch challenge. 4. Valladolid. Return 2025. The relegation hat-trick, +1. After his loan, Machís returned to Valladolid for the 2024-25 season, hoping to break the curse. Spoiler alert, he didn't. Valladolid got relegated again faster than you could say defensive catastrophe. Their defense was so bad they made Swiss cheese look airtight. Valladolid conceded 19 goals in 9 matches, and scored only 5. That's not a football team, that's a group therapy session. Machís came off the bench, tried his best, and witnessed his 4th straight relegation like a man forced to relive the same bad dream every night. By the time April rolled around, Valladolid defending a 1-goal lead felt as secure as carrying soup in your hands across a minefield. Even Machís, coming off the bench with fresh legs, must have felt like he was showing up to a 5-alarm fire carrying a cup of water. heroic effort, absolutely no chance. Valladolid's game plan was simple. Lose big. Apologize later. If Valladolid were a TV show, it'd be cancelled mid-season due to poor ratings and too many scenes of players crying. Machís spent more time in the Segunda than some clubs have in their entire histories. 4 relegations in 4 years. Even gravity is impressed at how quickly he keeps falling. 5. Media and fan reactions, sympathy meets stand-up comedy. Meanwhile, football Twitter, or X if you're trendy, went absolutely feral. Some fans cried for him, others made memes so savage they should be classified as war crimes. Darwin Machís was called everything from the Grim Reaper of La Ligas to director of Relegations, because why settle for being a player when you can be a walking demotion notice? At one point, fans even joked about starting a GoFundMe, not to save Valladolid, but to buy Machís a personal anti-relegation talisman. Crystals, sage, holy water, you name it. Because clearly, at this rate, Machís doesn't need a new club. He needs a full spiritual detox and maybe a priest on retainer. Someone even suggested Machís invented relegation itself. Honestly, not far off. L'Équipe called it a curse. DG Sport called him blessed Ahmed. Machís just called it another Tuesday. Some fans genuinely offered prayers. Others offered him a season pass to the Segunda. 6. The future. Can he break the curse? Now the €1,000,000 question. What's next for Darwin Machís? Stay at Valladolid and lead them back to La Liga? Move abroad and start fresh? Open a consultancy for clubs looking to get demoted efficiently? At 32, he still has the speed, the skills, and the broken heart of a man who's seen too much. Honestly, at this point, even if Machís transferred to Manchester City tomorrow, there's a decent chance City would suddenly find themselves battling relegation just because he showed up to training. Some players bring trophies. Machís brings existential dread and a handwritten letter from the football gods that just says, "Good luck, you're gonna need it." Imagine Machís joining another club and the boardroom discussion going, "He's fast, skilled, and comes with a free relegation risk." Darwin could seriously market himself as a rebuilding specialist. Need a fresh start in the Segunda? Call Machís. If Machís stays at Valladolid and somehow gets them promoted, Hollywood owes him a redemption movie immediately. At this point, even Machís' GPS defaults to Segunda División, straight a Hachia de Punto Comila. 7. Conclusion. The reluctant legend. Darwin Machís isn't just a player anymore, he's a La Liga legend. Not for goals, not for trophies, but for pure, unfiltered tragedy mixed with unbelievable bad luck. 4 seasons, 4 relegations, 3 clubs. If Resilience had a face, it would look tired, talented, and still running down the left wing with Machís' hair flapping in the wind. In a weird way, Machís has achieved something most players never will. He's become unforgettable, not for lifting trophies but for surviving the most brutal banter storms La Liga can throw at a man. He's not just a player anymore, he's a living reminder that in football sometimes the greatest skill isn't scoring goals, it's just showing up again after the 18th relegation meme hits your timeline. Because if anyone deserves a comeback story, it's the guy who's been living in football's version of Groundhog Day with way worse teammates. 4 relegations down. Next goal, 4 promotions up. Let's dream, people. Closing thoughts. Drop a prayer for Machís. So, what do you think? Is Machís cursed, unlucky, or just a really committed undercover agent for the Segunda División? Drop your thoughts and your favorite relegation meme in the comments. Smash that like button if you believe in Machís' redemption arc, and subscribe for more football banter, heartbreak, and hilarious disasters. Until next time, stay safe, stay hopeful, and avoid relegation at all costs. And remember, if you ever feel bad about your career trajectory, just know Darwin Machís got relegated 4 times in 4 seasons, and he's still running down that wing. See you next time.